This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
Program is rated MALSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, it does not matter who the host is. What has always mattered is who the listeners are, but I think you know that already. I don't think I'm sharing anything that we did not know this already. Anyways, how are you? Because today is Monday, March the 10th, also known as Mario Day. Day 69th of the year and only 296 days left to go. We are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and then coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM, and then hanging out with our friends and colleagues over there.
You're being infiltrated. Radio Big.
Oh, yes, that's how we do it. Infiltration, that is for sure how we get to the things. How was your weekend? Did you do anything exciting? Like super exciting? Like so exciting you don't even know what to say. Yeah, one of those kind of weekends. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Anyways, our show is called Rated R Safety Show. The show consists of safety in the news and safety. That's what we do. That's what we talk about. And then we kind of go down these rabbit holes where we talk a little bit about everything. And I mean everything. So you go there, you hang out, we do our thing, and as we are taking, the gander down the path, you have the option of interacting with the show. Callinradio.com will do the trick. Call in radio. Yep, does the trick right there. Once you get there, all kinds of stuff ready to go. Audio, video, and text messaging are the options once you get into the place. And then we run. I kind of have a little screen that pops up over here letting me know that something's going on. If not, then what happens is, that's it. I'm just going. So we have some newscasters that hang out with us from Feature Story News. They tell us what's going on. I tell you what I see, and then we go from there. Yep. Pretty simple. That's how I like to keep it. As simple as possible. Anyways, let's talk about what was trending in the overnight.
Here is what was trending. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so as I look at the trends of the ends, notable and noteworthy, Sam Bankman-Fried heads to solitary. Yep, you heard me. We'll talk about that in a bit. Also, Chiefs player Xavier Worthy gets arrested, and Teddy Mellencamp shares an update on her cancer journey. We'll talk about that as we get into showbiz. Also, Anna Kendrick plays coy when asked about working with this actress. I think that we already know where this is going. And what else? King Charles. Yes, King Charles debuts a new radio station. Debuts a new radio station in the Royales. A new radio station? The king gets to roll it out? That's fun. I mean, don't you think? Okay, so I have some people that are waiting. Feature Story News. They're wanting to talk about everything that was going on over the weekend and then some. So if you're ready to go down this rabbit hole that we do on Mondays, we can start now. And we'll bring in our peeps from Feature Story News, and they'll start featuring away with everything that is happening. I guess that's the way we're going to do it. So let's go with it right now.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. Officials from the US and Ukraine are travelling to Saudi Arabia for talks on ending the war with Russia. President Zelensky is due to hold a separate meeting with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Chief editor of the Lviv Times, Lee Reaney, says it could be a pivotal week.
Ukrainians are worried about their partnership with the Americans. Europe is stepping up in different ways to sort of fill the void that the Americans have left here in the last couple of weeks. But these talks in Saudi Arabia this week are critical for Ukraine and for the next stage in this war. Europe has come up with a lot of very positive ideas, a lot of assurances.
Canada's next Prime Minister Mark Carney says he will win a trade war against US President Donald Trump. He'll be sworn in the coming days after winning a leadership race to succeed Justin Trudeau. Beijing's tariffs on certain US agricultural goods in retaliation for President Donald Trump's latest hike on Chinese imports has come into force on Monday. After imposing a blanket 10% tariff on all Chinese goods in early February, Donald Trump hiked the rate to 20% last week as trade tensions mount between the world's two leading economies. Laura Westbrook reports from Hong Kong.
Beijing has accused Washington of undermining the multilateral trading system. Tariffs of 10 and 15% on several U.S. farm products came into effect on Monday, including chicken, wheat, corn, and cotton. Analysts say Beijing's retaliatory tariffs are designed to hurt Trump's voter base, but are restrained enough to leave some room for negotiation for a trade deal. China has relied on exports to support its slowing economy, and that's now under threat by the latest Trump tariffs. Laura Westbrook, Hong Kong.
Pakistan has reached out to the US government seeking clarity on the entry of its nationals into America. Reports have suggested the US is mulling travel restrictions on Pakistani nationals as part of the Trump administration's efforts to curb illegal migration. Hiram Mustafa reports from Islamabad.
Pakistani officials have reached out to the US State Department seeking clarity on possible travel curbs and bans being placed on its citizens. In January, President Trump ordered tougher security checks for foreign nationals seeking entry into the U.S. The order prompted officials to provide a list of countries for which travel should be partially or fully suspended due to poor vetting and screening practices. Reports suggest Pakistan is reportedly on the travel ban list. This even as a second flight carrying illegal Pakistani nationals is scheduled to arrive in Islamabad next week. The first flight, which arrived last month, carried 8 individuals who had been found living illegally in the United States. Hira Mustafa, Islamabad.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. Today, American complicity for the loss of civilian lives in Ukraine over the weekend. As Russia bombarded the country again, President Trump on Friday said that anybody in Vladimir Putin's position would be authorizing fresh strikes, and he did nothing to condemn them. He has also frozen US weapons shipments for Ukraine and American intelligence sharing with Kyiv, saying that he wants to see some kind of undefined acceptance by President Volodymyr Zelensky of the need to make peace. Kira Rudik of Ukraine's opposition Holos party says instead President Trump is now complicit in Russia's war.
The recent deaths by Russian missiles, the responsibility they share with the Americans who made the decision to cut the intelligence. It was a really brutal and cruel decision because it will not have effect at the battlefield that much, but it will have effect on us not hearing the air raid sirens, people not be able to rush into the bomb shelter and have a chance for them and their kids to be not killed by the huge piece of metal coming from the sky.
US and Ukrainian officials are meeting in Riyadh this week for face-to-face talks. The Ukrainians say they want clarity about precisely what steps President Trump requires President Zelensky to take in order to resume weapons shipments and intelligence sharing. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, officials from the US and Ukraine are travelling to Saudi Arabia for talks on ending the war with Russia. Canada's next Prime Minister Mark Carney says he'll win a trade war against US President Donald Trump. Beijing's tariffs on certain US agricultural goods have come into force, and Pakistan's reached out to the US government seeking clarity on the entry of its nationals into America. That's the latest feature story news. Ollie Barrett reporting.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
It's always amazing to me on how technology changes, and so does the environment that we're in. And cyber criminals will do everything they can to take advantage of a system. If you don't own a home, you have nothing to fear about what I'm about to tell you. But if you own a home like me and you don't guard it with home title lock, you're inviting home title fraud. One of the fastest growing crimes. Cyber thieves around the world know our home values are sky high at the moment, and that makes us a target. The crime is scary simple. Let me explain it to you real quick. A cyber thief simply forges your name on a property sale form and refiles it. That's it. Now he or she is on the deed of your home and you have no idea that you're a victim. Then the person takes out a loan on your home and vanishes, leaving you to prove to the police that you didn't commit bank fraud. Home Title Locks puts a virtual barrier around your home title. The instant they detect any kind of tampering or anybody messing around, they help shut it down. Look, if you have equity in your home, you need to guard it the best way that you can. Some people might even go as far as guarding it with their life. Go to HomeTitleLock.com and register your address to see if you already are a victim. And enter the code RADIO. That's RADIO. That's the code RADIO for 30 days free of protection. That's code RADIO at HomeTitleLock.com.
Radio Big. USA, Canada, UK.
Okay, there you go. 15 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out on this lovely Monday. Yep, no doubt there, as we are doing our thing. Okay, so let's start talking right away about what the hell was on the shit list, because, inquiring minds want to know. Let's see. Sam Bankman-Fried video interview with Tucker Carlson last week has landed the crypto fraudster in solitary confinement. The New York Times reports that the video component of the interview was not approved by the Bureau of Prisons. One unidentified source says that SBF was confined to Solo Slammer after the video went online last Thursday. No word on how long he'll face the punishment or how he was able to conduct a video chat on an unapproved device. Meanwhile, the Times also reports the SBF's parents have been actively lobbying business people and D.C. insiders with connections to the White House to campaign for a pardon. Their attorney says the prosecution told the story about FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried that is not correct. In the public knew the full story, they would view it differently. Worth noting, SBF has maintained his innocence all along and has committed to vindicating his name in appeal. This is according to the New York Times. So what do you think? How would you get approved to do some stuff? How would you get it through? I'm just kind of confused there. So wouldn't he have to be put it somewhere for him to be able to do an interview for that long? I'm just asking. So somebody has to be able to explain it. I would imagine that.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so take a listen to this. A Chinese-based bubble tea, yes, bubble tea, an ice cream company has claimed the crown of the world's largest restaurant chain with more than 45,000 locations. Let's see. Mixu Bichen became the fast food chain with the most storefronts in the world last September. By comparison, McDonald's has shy of 42,000, while Mixu's locations are exclusively in the Southeast Asia and spanned across Indonesia, Vietnam, and Malaysia. Despite having the most locations around the globe, Mixu does lag Starbucks and Tim Hortons in total revenue. That's according to The Independent. So there you go. A lot of stuff there. A lot of stuff to think about. I don't know why you would want to think about, why they're the largest or have the most storefronts, if that's important. But I guess it is for some. Okay, what else do I have here? Let's see. Gene Hackman passed away on February the 18th, a week after his wife that had died to hantavirus, a rare flu-like disease linked to rats. The news was shared during the news conference on Friday with the New Mexico chief medical examiner outlining the likely timeline of what occurred. According to M.E. Araqua, was the last heard from on the morning of February 11th and likely died that afternoon. Hackman, who suffered from late-stage Alzheimer's disease and cardiovascular disease, likely died on February the 18th, one day after his pacemaker last showed activity. Their bodies were not found for over a week. He was 95 and she was 65 at the time of the passing. That's crazy. I don't know. I hear that story. I don't even know what to think. It's one of those very, very intriguing ones. Terrible news overall, for sure, as we are talking. Listen to this. Rosie O'Donnell may be the latest celeb to follow through on her promise to leave the country following Donald Trump's win last November. Over the weekend, O'Donnell posted on both of her now private Instagrams and TikTok snapshots on her of her and her 12-year-old daughter Dakota cruising around Ireland. In one of the posts, O'Donnell wrote, "Can't wait to walk her daughter to school," implying the two have relocated. So there you go. I've been saying for years that regardless of who won, I was leaving. I'm just not leaving yet, and I'm pretty sure that I'm leaving to Mexico. So that's kind of always been the plan. So I don't know. Okay, so why do people make such a big deal about this? Like, oh, I need everybody to know that because somebody did this. I mean, that's a lot of control that you're giving someone in regards to that. But hey, whatever. You have to do what you think is best for you, of course. Let's continue talking. But I just don't understand about I need everybody to know that I'm leaving. If you're going to leave, just leave. And then let people know that you are leaving. Or that you left. One or the other. I just don't know if it needs to be, advertised so much farther ahead of time. But it is one of those things.
It's this show, and they just make fun of a whole bunch of people. It's just too funny. It's too stupid.
Rated R Safety Show.
Yep, Rated R Safety Show, no doubt there. So take a listen to this. Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively have different thoughts about what it's like to work with one another. Both were asked about starring alongside the other in the premiere of their new movie, Another Simple Favor, a sequel to their 2018 flick, Simple Favor. When asked, Lively said Kendrick is the best. Meanwhile, Kendrick says, "Oh, before walking away and blowing off the question. Another Simple Favor is in theaters now." So there you go. Some stuff to think about for sure. Because, hey, I don't know. Is she that difficult to work with? Because that's how a lot of people are implying. I don't know. I don't think Ryan Reynolds thought that she was difficult to work with. The Green Lantern, that movie? Yeah, okay, just remember. Okay, what else? What else do we have? Okay, so let's follow up to just the day after successfully landing a probe on the lunar surface. Private space company Intuitive Machines announced that the lander has been powered down. The Athena lander, was supposed to operate for about 10 days, but the company confirmed that it had been knocked on its side and would be unable to fully conduct the experiment. Despite the setback, the company did say that the mission did conclude with the southernmost lunar landing and the surface operations ever archived. While the Athena drill is in operational, sensors have been able to analyze the dirt samples for water ice. This is according to CNN. We just never know what it's going to be like once it gets there, right? That's the whole thing. So it's interesting to see that it didn't make it through for the whole 10 days, but how much data did it get before they powered it down? That's going to be the other thing to think about, of course. What else do we have? The Northern Korea regime has unveiled the first ever nuclear powered submarine through remains those remains are still under construction. On Saturday, state media released photos of Kim Jong Jr. inspecting the progress of the naval shipyard. In the announcement, it coincided with the scheduled joint military exercise between the U.S. and South Korea. Analysts believe that the sub would be able to carry up to 10 nuclear missiles, but more ominously, vastly expanded the North's ability to deploy such weapons. This is according to the Telegraph. Boy, do things keep on getting more and more interesting, if we may say it that way. Okay, take a listen to this. Morgan Geiser, one of the two Wisconsin girls who stabbed a classmate to please the fictional character Slenderman, will be released soon. Despite prosecutors' concern overall, red flags, including the now 22-year-old communicating with the man who collects murder memorabilia, Judge Michael Boren signed off on her release from the Winnebago Mental Health Institute. What happened during the sleepover in 2014, a 12-year-old Geiser and her friend Anissa Wheeler lured Peyton Lutheran into a park. Once there, Geiser stabbed her 19 times while Wheeler cheered her on. Lutener survived by dragging herself into the woods and flagging down a bicycle. Already out. Let's see. Weir, who was was also sent to the psychiatric clinic, was granted release in 2021. She was ordered to her father's home and required to wear a GPS. A hearing about the condition of Geyser's release is set for March the 21st. It's going to be interesting to see a lot of this stuff as it's going on. There is what am I trying to say here? A documentary or docu-series about this. I believe it's on Netflix, if you go and take a look. I mean, it's definitely an interesting story as it's all said and done. Take a listen to this. Prince Frederick, the youngest son of Prince Robert and Princess Julie of Nassau, has died. He passed away earlier this month with a rare genetic condition called POLG disease, which takes the body cells of energy, causing progressive multi-organ dysfunction and failure. Frederick was diagnosed with the condition when he was 14. He was 22 at the time of his passing. Also, Art Sherlock, the oldest living retired major leaguer, has died. His death was announced on Saturday. No further details are known. Art, a lefty, pitched for the Yankees from 1951 to 1955, earning him 3 World Series rings. He was 100 at the time of his passing. Also, Dwayne Wiggins, a member of the band Tony, has died. He passed away on Friday morning after a battle with bladder cancer. The Grammy-nominated group is best known for their hits Anniversary and Pillow. Lay Your Head on My Pillow. He was 64 at the time of his passing. So there you go. Interesting when you get to hear a lot of this stuff or go through some of the stuff together. You never know what's going to happen. Okay, take a listen to this. Let's talk about the weekend box office. Some people are going to care about this. The Night of the Zoo Apocalypse. Yeah, that came in at number 10. That was an animation one. Number 9 was Rule Breaker with $1.5 million. Number 8, Mufasa, Lion King, $1.7 million. And number 7 was Anora, $1.8 million. And number 6 was Dogman, $3.5 million. And number 5, Paddington in Peru, $3.8 million. And number 4, The Monkey, $3.9 million. Number 3, Last Breath, $4.2 million. And let's see some changes at the top. Captain America, Brave New World fell to number 2 with $8.5 million. We got a new number 1 movie. The new number 1 movie is Mickey 17 with $19.1 million. Yep, that's the number 1 movie at the box office. So there you go. Also, take a listen to this. Kick the can. President Trump has publicly encouraged Congress to pass continuing the resolution that they would keep the government funded at a current levels until September. Over the weekend, Trump posted on social media, all Republicans should vote please yes next week. Great things are coming for America, and I'm asking you all to give a few months to get us through to September so we can continue to put the country's financial house in order. Worth noting, despite all the DOGE cuts, government spending has not functionally decreased yet, though, of course, the groundwork is being laid to do so. This is a tremendous opportunity to demand decisive and swift action from Congress to deliver a balanced budget. Both houses of Congress need just about all their members on board to get something passed. Unless Trump signs a funding extension, the government would partially shut down at midnight on Friday. And even during the shutdown, most of all day-to-day services that affect most people would continue as usual. So we'll have to see what happens, because that's going to get interesting right away. Let's talk about this. The Dow gained about 222 points to close at 42,801 on Friday. The S&P gained 31 points to close at 5,770, and the NASDAQ increased by 126 points to close at 18,196. West Texas Intermediate was at $66 a barrel, and Brent crude was at $70 a barrel. The national average price of a gallon of gas was $3.09 on Sunday. Bitcoin imploded over the weekend, trading around $81,000. Also, Tuesday night's Mega Million, yes, the Mega Million drawing will be for $256 million jackpot or $119.5 million cash payout. So if you want to play the game, you have the opportunity to do so. Tonight's Powerball drawing will be for $320 million jackpot or $150.2 million cash payout. So if you want to play, go ahead and go out there and do so. No doubt about that one. Seriously, no doubt about it. Okay, what else do I got for you? Okay, Teddy Mellencamp is keeping fans in the loop when it comes to her cancer journey. Have you heard about this? The reality star who was diagnosed with skin cancer recently shared the doctors found multiple brain tumors during a scan last week. The news comes just days after she was released from the hospital after undergoing surgeries to remove 4 brain tumors. Mellencamp is staying hopeful, however, as she starts the immunotherapy this week. So there you go. Some stuff right there. Also, Dolly Parton released a new love song in honor of her late husband, Carl Thomas Dean. If You Haven't Been There was released on Friday with a cover art featuring a throwback photo of the couple. Dean passed away on Monday. He was 82 at the time of his passing. What else do I have for you? Let's see. Should we talk about this one? Sure. Britney Spears posted a video dancing to her ex Justin Timberlake song Señorita on Instagram. In the clip, she wore a thong bodysuit, twerked dangerously close to a fireplace, and after dropping it low, she danced around the room, showing off her platform boots and a flat brim hat. Spears turned off commenting on the caption post. Why did we get this intro? I don't know. A lot of weird stuff sometimes happens as we are talking. And there you go. What else? What else? What is this? Actor Rebecca Gayheart and Eric Dane are giving their marriage a second chance. After filing for divorce in February of 2018, Gayheart recently requested a dismissal of the divorce petition. At the time of her filing, the pair had been married for 14 years. And in the time since, they remained close while co-parenting their 2 daughters, who are now teenagers. No word on exactly what changed. So hold on. How did you put in a request at 18 and the divorce didn't go through yet? Okay. Different, I guess. Different. Okay, let's get to our main story because I think we need to do that. Yeah, let's do it.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
Okay. So, is this the greatest start to a week? Probably not in regards to this story, but let's talk about some of this stuff. So, how do we talk about this? Because these are sometimes some of those weird, uncomfortable conversations that we get to have. And you know what I'm talking about. You know where I'm talking about something happens inside of the org and you don't know how you do it. And how to handle some of the situations. And I want to talk about some of this because I remember many, many moons ago, if you listen to the Hop Nerd, Sam would talk about something that he would say called safety fix-it. And it seems that a lot of times, that's what we kind of run into. You kind of wear the multiple hats inside of the wheelhouse and you don't understand sometimes some of the things that are taking place. So let's talk about this one because I think it's going to be important. You know that when something comes up, a worker will approach you most of the time to let you know something good, bad, or indifferent. And now I want to use this example of what happens even if you're in the safety department and someone comes up to you and says, hey, I have been sexually harassed at the workplace. You know that this happens in regards of people working together. It's just something that, not saying it happens all the time, but it does happen. And I would imagine as a safety person, as a safety professional, someone has approached you in regards to this. So the question automatically becomes, what do you do? The question automatically becomes, how do you handle it? Now, if the person approached you and you are part of management, as a matter of fact, if you're just part of humanity, but we'll go with the management thing for a moment. This is something that has to be brought up to your manager in regards to what's going on. And the reason that I bring this up is because at some point, you need to get your human resource department involved in this for this to be investigated immediately. And the question has always become, or has always been, how do you handle this? Well, I don't know how your organization is laid out. Now, I've been to organizations where safety reports directly into HR. So those become normally a little bit easier conversations. But there are times where you do not report to HR. And, of course, the 20 questions always comes up. Well, you know that some people will let certain things slide and all this other stuff. What if the person they're reporting is your best worker? All these things should not matter. They should be handled accordingly in regards of what is going on. So if it gets reported, it needs to be investigated. Be it the worst worker, the best worker, the in-between worker, it still needs to be investigated on what's going on. Because that is what we tend to forget sometimes. It is still dealing with humans regardless of what's happening. And they are bringing this up because they do not feel comfortable in the situation. Now, the funny part is sometimes people get very confused here and pretend like sexual harassment can only happen one way. No, it can happen anyway. It can happen guy towards woman, and it can happen woman towards guy. It happens, and people get amazed on, well, how is that even possible? What do you mean, how is it possible? How is it not possible? That's the weird thing sometimes that people don't want to talk about. So anyways, going back to what I was saying, it needs to be reported to HR. HR needs to handle the situation. They need to investigate it. They need to look at it. And this needs to be handled in a speedy fashion. It doesn't need to be like, oh, somebody tells you and you go, oh, well, I'll get it to HR at some point. Well, no, it needs to be handled at that particular moment in time. And then the question always becomes, what happens if they work in the same department? What happens if they're on the same site? And this is where it's important to get HR, sometimes legal department, gets involved in this process. And if it's something that you haven't worked with before and you have a pretty large HR team, they will know how to handle this. Now, some people will sit back and go, but HR's main focus is make sure the company is taken care of. Well, what you have to look at the same time, too, is the people that work in human resources are still humans. It's not only about the company. They do take a look at everything else that's going on. And sometimes some people figure that, hey, it might be one of these things that it might be more interesting to get in contact with legal counsel because I was harassed at work. And you have to make that determination if that's going to work best for your situation. This is a subject that should always be discussed in regards of what is going on from a sexual harassment standpoint. And normally most companies, depending on how the layout is, you should have a training at least once a year about this subject altogether.
Oops. What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You're listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
If you're anything like me, you have certain tendencies to put things off, such as filing taxes, seeing the doctor, working on that home improvement project that you're supposed to be doing, but you just haven't gotten to it. And while most of the times it works out, the one thing in life that you really cannot afford to wait on is setting up term coverage life insurance. You've probably seen life insurance commercials on TV and thought, yeah, I'll look into it later. Well, the answer is no. This isn't something that you can wait for. Choose life insurance through Ladder today. Ladder is 100% digitals, no doctors, no needles, no paperwork. When you apply for $3 million in coverage or less, just answer a few questions about your health in an application. Ladder's customers rate them 4.8 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot, and they've made Forbes' best life insurance in 2021's list. You just need a few minutes and a phone or a laptop to apply. Ladder's smart algorithm works in real time, so you'll find out if you're instantly approved. No hidden fees, cancel anytime, get full refund if you change your mind in the first 30 days. Ladder policies are issued by insurers with long proven histories of paying claims. They're rated A and A+ by AM Best. Finally, Since life insurance costs more as you age, now is the time to cross it off your list. So go to ladder.com/safetyfm today to see if you're instantly approved. That's LADDER life.com/safetyfm. ladderlife.com/safetyfm. Embrace a daily boost of nature with Field of Greens. Discover the simple power of one scoop to elevate your well-being. Enjoy the flavor that appeals to you the most and let the blend of organic fruits and vegetables enhance your life. Experience the following benefits with Fields of Greens. Noticeable energy increase to power you throughout the day. Improved quality of sleep. Enhanced digestive comfort and a general uplift in your wellness. Field of Green stands out with the selection of organically grown ingredients, each carefully picked for its benefits to your heart and overall health. We are confident that you'll appreciate the benefits of Field of Greens. If it doesn't meet your expectations, we offer a straightforward money-back guarantee. Jumpstart your health journey with a special offer, 15% off your first purchase plus complimentary expedited shipping. Just visit fieldofgreens.com and use the code SAFETYFM to redeem your discount. That's SAFETYFM at fieldofgreens.com. Experience nature's touch at fieldofgreens.com/SAFETYFM. And don't forget to tell them that Jay Allen sent you.
Jay Allen in the morning, weekdays on Radio Big.
I know you all want to hit your revenue targets and get the launch done. Well, making sure that your team knows what to do and how to do it is a huge part of it. So I'm sure that you all do different kinds of training, and I'm willing to bet that you probably use PowerPoint, Zoom, etc. I also bet that when you get someone droning on about a topic using these tools, you probably zone out. And your team does too. I mean, it is a reality of what happens. That's why I strongly recommend a tool called Articulate 360. That makes it so easy to whip together interactive, really beautiful e-learnings that really engages people and gets info across. You can create short-form micro-learning, super interactive courses, and really whatever you need when you're in their site. Then with a couple of clicks, you can send it out and check on it and see the progress of your team. Your team can also check back on the training anytime they want in a super simple portal. Literally everyone uses Articulate. Over 120,000 companies and all 100 Fortune 100 companies. Check it out at articulate.com/360 to start a free trial. That's articulate.com/360 to start your free trial. And don't forget to tell them that I was the one that sent you there.
More hits to help you work. Because to get rich, you gotta work hard.
Yeah, dude, look, I just made so much money that I could just sit around on my ass all day and play video games.
Wait, I forgot about Dogecoin.
Dogecoin rules!
Okay, here we are, Rated R Safety Show, doing our thing. Yeah, I'm hanging out still on this lovely day. You know, we should call it the Daylight Saving Time Monday, because that's what it seems like. Okay, this right here, song's called Moonlight. Name of the band? Free the People. Songs readily available on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music. If you want to give it a little whirly there. So there you go. Would like to thank Free the People for allowing us to play this here on the Rated R Safety Show. Always a good time as we get to do some musica stuff, no doubt there. Anyways, let's continue doing the thing that we do. And if anything, let me tell you about the most important thing in my lifetime that I'm never going to get to tell you about, and that's about my friends at To Write Love on Our Arms. No matter what you're facing, you deserve to be connected to help. And the people at To Write Love on Our Arms want you to know that people have been where you are now, and things can get better. Healing is possible. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to TWLOHA.com. That's TWLOHA.com and click on the section that says Find Help. Once you get there, there'll be information related to addiction, depression, anxiety, eating disorders, self-injury, suicide, trauma, and grief support, just to name a few. That's TWLOHA.com and click on the section that says Find Help. Yep. That's it. I can tell you that website can change your life. No doubt about that whatsoever. Okay, so let's talk about a couple things coming up, because if not, I'm going to forget to do this. But yeah, if you are interested in coming out to Banff, if it does pop up here. Okay, if you're interested in coming to Banff, you can do that. You can do that. April the 28th through May the 1st, Energy Safety Canada Conference and Trade Show in Banff. Yeah, we'll be there. We'll be there broadcasting live if you're interested in coming out. I will tell you, this is my third year there. Great time. More information, all you have to do is go to EnergySafetyCanada.com. I will tell you, it will change everything right there for you in regards to what's going on. So there you go. Yeah, we'd love to see you there. And then let's not forget about the other thing that we're doing. Yeah, so got some stuff going on. Got some stuffy-uffy there going on. This one's going to blow up too. Okay, so let's see. This one's taking place. You got some time before we get to this one. September the 9th through the 11th of this year. Santa Fe, New Mexico. Conklin Conference going on. Conklin Conference 4 to be exact. All you have to do to find out more information is go to safetyfm.com and then go into live events. And it's right there, talking about everything that's going on inside of there. Yep. All you have to do is safetyfm.com. So there you go. Some info, some things going on inside of our world, though. So anyways, take a listen to this. It may not be the thing that you need to hear on a Monday morning after the time change, but according to an article published by Harvard Business Review, workers can actually get meeting hangovers from attending an unhelpful meeting. A survey found that more than 90% of employees feel that they've suffered meeting hangover, which are defined as a period of diminished focus, motivation, and productivity following a bad meeting. Steve Rolchenberg, the professor at UNC Charlotte and author of The Surprising Science Meeting, explained his frustration of attending a bad or unnecessary meetings continues to replay in workers' head. And they also tend to spread those negative emotions to colleagues, which affects their coworkers' productivity. And most commonly reported as reasons for the meetings of bad were irreverence and the lack of clear agenda and objectives, and also no pizza. And bad meetings are proof that not all hangovers are a good story to tell. I'm just saying. So I don't know. What do you think? I mean, is it really the Monday after that kind of plays the biggest factor into it? Is it the Monday after the time change? Or is it just meetings in general? I mean, I never know. That's for sure. So there you go. A lot of information inside of there. So we have some events coming up. We have this going on and all that. You know what else could be coming up that would make life better? Is John Small. Let's have some John Small come in here and let him tell us about the Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com and JaceCaseMedical.com.
The Motivation Minute.
Today's quote was submitted by Matt. Simon Sinek said, "A culture is strong when people work with each other, for each other. A culture is weak when people work against each other, for themselves." Very true. Another quote from Simon Sinek, "It feels good to help people, so get out there and feel good." This is also very true. I've been involved in helping with community events for over 30 years. When I grew up in a small town, you could either complain that there was nothing to do, or you could do something about it. I chose the second one. I can't explain how fulfilling it is to put your heart into an event and see it become successful. Now, sadly, I have to admit, I've had some flops too.
The Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com and JaceCaseMedical.com. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Hello, I'm Richard Exley with your 1-minute devotion. The scriptures reveal that God is not only holy, but also absolutely just. Deuteronomy 32:4 says, "Oh, praise the greatness of our God. He is a rock. His works are perfect, and all his ways are just." Jeremiah 9:23 and 24 says, "Let him who boasts, boast about this, that he understands and knows me, that I am the Lord who exercises kindness, justice, and righteousness on earth." Revelation 15:3 declares, "Great and marvelous are your deeds, Lord God Almighty. Just and true are your ways." Lord, we give you glory and honor, for you are just and righteous. Amen. If these devotions are a blessing and an encouragement to you, you can subscribe at oneminutedevotion.com.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
Russian forces have intensified aerial assaults on Ukraine for back-to-back consecutive night, resulting in at least 25 fatalities. Benjamin Wright with the latest.
This escalation follows the United States' decision to cease sharing satellite imagery with Ukraine, a move perceived as an effort by President Donald Trump to pressure Kyiv into accepting a peace agreement with Russia. Polish President Donald Tusk criticized the U.S. action, cautioning against appeasing Russian aggression.
North Korea has unveiled its first nuclear-powered submarine, raising significant security concerns for South Korea and the United States. Joseph Eckerson reports.
State media released images showing leader Kim Jong-un inspecting the vessel, though specific details remain limited. Experts suggest the submarine could be capable of carrying nuclear-armed missiles and might become operational within the next 2 years.
In Syria, over 600 individuals have been killed in 2 days of intense clashes and retaliatory attacks.
The violence erupted between Syrian security forces and supporters of the ousted President Bashar Assad. Sunni Muslim gunmen loyal to the new government launched revenge assaults against Alawites, who were key backers of Assad. Jim Kender reports.
This is the latest news headlines.
A 14-year-old boy in Newark, New Jersey has been charged with murder after fatally shooting a police officer and wounding another. Lawrence Keller reports.
The incident occurred during an operation targeting illegal weapons activities. Officer Joseph Ascona, 26, was shot before exiting his vehicle, while the second officer sustained non-life-threatening injuries.
A severe winter storm has blanketed northern Arizona with heavy snowfall, causing a 15-mile traffic jam on Interstate 40 between Flagstaff and Williams.
The accumulation of snow and a two-vehicle accident contributed to the prolonged standstill. Despite one reported injury, no fatalities occurred. Snowfall ranged from a few inches in lower areas to over 2 feet in regions like Flagstaff. Kyle Norris reporting.
On International Women's Day, women worldwide rallied to demand equal rights and an end to discrimination and violence.
In Istanbul, protesters opposed government restrictions on women's rights, highlighting Turkey's withdrawal from the Istanbul Convention. European demonstrations focused on issues like equal pay and healthcare access. Jessica Oakley reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
just saved my ass there.
Like I give a flying, you know.
Yeah, you should probably give a flying something, that's for sure. So let's talk real quick about some things that happened back on this date. If you take a look back at 2020, 3 months into COVID-19 pandemic, Chinese president finally travels to Wuhan, the epicenter of the breakout. The visit was mostly to save face, as the president was called out for disappearing during the early days of the pandemic. So that happened back on this date in 2020. Let's talk about some birthdays going on today. Justin Herbert turns 27, Bad Bunny 31, Emily Osmond 33, Mod Sun 38, Olivia Wilde 41, Malik Hawk turns 42, Carrie Underwood 42, Robin Thicke 48, Timberland turns 53, John Hamm 54, Prince Edward 61, Rick Rubin, yes, that Rick Rubin, Frederick J. Rubin, to be exact, turned 62. Jasmine Guy turned 63. Pam Oliver, 64. Sharon Stone, 67. And Chuck Norris turns 85 today. If you're looking at some days of the year to celebrate, well, we have some of those for you. It's National Napping Day, National Hug Your Dog Day, National Pack Your Lunch Day, and, of course, Mario Day. Yeah, if you look at it, it makes sense. It's, if you shorten March, M-A-R, and it's the 10th, I-O, or 1-0, it looks like Mario. Hey, it's me, Mario. So there you go. That's what's going on. What else do we got? If you need a rando for today, I have one somewhere for you. Yeah, if you need a random joke, here we go. Whenever I see chocolate, I hear two voices in my head. One that says, eat the chocolate, and the other one that says, you heard her. Eat the chocolate. If you need a phone starter for today, try this. What happens regularly in our country that people elsewhere would find strange or bizarre? How much time do we have left? Okay, no, probably can't cover all that. Okay, so that's it there. If you need a question for the water cooler, try this. 20% of us have one of these. Even we probably don't need it, and it's a waste of money. What is it? A storage unit. A friend of mine told me that if you have a storage unit, it's because you have too much junk. I think he was right, but that's a whole other story. Anyways, that's it. That's going to sum up our time together. At the top of the hour, I'll be going over to radiobig.fm if you want to come and hang out with me for the next couple hours or so. I'll be talking about the world of music and entertainment and playing some music for you as well. If you don't want to go over there, you can hang out still here on Safety FM and hang out with the likes of Sheldon Primus as he talks about the world of safety consulting. So there you go. The options are yours. Anyways, thank you for always being the best part of Safety FM and Radio Big, and that is the listener, because without you, it makes no sense to do what we do around here. No doubt about that. If I can leave you with a deep thought for today, I would love to leave you with this. Ambition is the path to success. Persistence is the vehicle you arrive in. Think about that real quick. It might take you places that you did not expect. Anyways, I know who you are. You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.
Searching for love ashore. Hearts are now anchored. We're searching